Hello and welcome to Launerin's Gamer Score and welcome to another Dauntless Friday. So this week we're going to carry on with our theme and we're going to move on to a different type of behemoth, and that is going to be the shock type behemoths this week. So we're going to have a look at the different kinds and talk about what armour to wear, etc., and what weapons to use, and just some techniques that I use against them. So let's jump right in. Alright, so I've got the Drake scale armour on, which is the Drask armour, and I'm using a terror weapon or a earth-based weapon against it, because that is what it's weak against. As with all of the behemoths, you do get this lovely list of where to hit it. I am switching things up a little bit today and using the blades instead, just to see if I can break some parts of it off and maybe get some more bits to create some weapons with as well. So this being an electric type behemoth or a shock type behemoth, whichever way you want to put it, it's weak against the earth based weapons, so the terror weapons. So that's why I'm using the Skarn chain blades with that. So right, we're not down here. So I'll just hop up here and we'll see if he's down the other side of this. There he is. There we go. Now if memory serves, this is going to move pretty quick. So we're gonna So yeah, I'm just trying to get as many hits in as I can. Just try and get those the parts broke up on it, really. I've also switched out my item loadout at the moment as well. Somebody heal him. No, hang on. There we go. Slightly overcharged. That's him gone. Alright. Does that mean he's already popped up over here? Certainly sounds like it. Let's hop up here and see. Yeah, there we go. So the Drask does fire this kind of long-ranged electric bolts, usually as soon as it spots you. which is something that you want to avoid ideally. So yeah, I've swapped up my item loadout slightly to give me this on the right hand side, which basically every time I do damage, 12% of that damage goes through and heals myself and my allies, which is very useful because it gives you, especially if you can get a lot of damage off in a very short amount of time, then a lot of that does very quickly come back as health, and can quite easily just restore your entire party back to full. I will admit there's probably other items that would work better, but I'm quite liking using it at the moment. It gives me a little bit of a boost. So that's the Drask slain, and talked about the Drask a little bit there as well. So we'll move on to the others now. And we've moved on to the Nayzaga. So this has given us a little bit of a hint, saying to attack the electric orbs to reflect them back to the target. This is very similar to the neutral behemoth, the quill shot, as well, which you will see shortly what I mean there. Again, you have your brake parts guide as well. So as you could probably tell, I don't appear to be wearing the correct armour. I am actually wearing the Nayzaga armour, but I have adjusted it using the transmog feature. So this is something that you can do if you prefer the look of something else, or you unlock the cosmetic costumes, like the swashbucklery type one that is currently this season's unlockable, which I've managed to get, which I'm quite proud of myself of. So let's jump into this one and have a look at the Nayzaga properly. Everything's a little bit twitchy there. I hope that doesn't affect my game too much. So let's see if we can spot this one. Well, we'll go up here and we'll see if it's up here. So with the shock and the terror type behemoths, you do find that they can appear pretty much on any style of map, whereas with the neutral, fire and frost type behemoths, they tend to appear on certain in certain environments, whereas the shock and terror ones pretty much can be anywhere. And there it is. Just let everybody know I found it with the flare, and then we'll move in to attack. So as you can see, it's got kind of these little spikes, which tend to grow. It's quite quick. It dashes about like that at the start usually, and it does a kind of fast-paced slashing attack, electric attack at the very start of the combat. So the other thing that this one does is it sends out its spines, which embed in the floor, as you can see there, just over here and over there as well. They then send out kind of balls of electricity, which will come after you, like that one just did. Not entirely sure what happened there, to be honest. I thought I was about to die, but then I didn't. Unless somebody healed me somehow. Oh. Yeah, now I'm about to die. Okay. So the Nayzaga is big, it's kind of beastly. And it tends to deal a lot of damage very quickly. Alright, let's just send out... Okay, that didn't really work how I wanted it to. Because what's happened there... There we go. That's healing everybody up nicely. Come on. Come on. Just break it down, breaking him down. Oh, that is a lot of spines. Okay, we just break through some of those. Come on. So yeah, what you want to do with the Nayzaga really is you want to keep track of when it fires its spines out, and ideally have one member of your team that's basically in charge of just kind of going after those spines. Because otherwise you do get a little bit overwhelmed, and they'll keep firing the bolts, the balls of electricity at you, and you very quickly just start to get overrun with the balls of lightning coming at you all of the time. And it doesn't give you any opportunity to really get into the battle with... So he's going to do another one of them now. There we go. Okay. There we go. He's going to slide off into the ground. I was hoping that we'd just be able to do it on the first instance, as it were. But never mind. Surely there's not much left of him now. So we'll just quickly go find him and just knock him about a little bit more, and hopefully that'll finish him off. Well, That's all very well and good. What exactly are you signalling there? Okay, so this is where I started. Oh, is that you up there? Did I just see? Yes, it is. Guys! Right, here we go. Here comes the shock. Oh, no. Spines first. Okay. Oh. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. And if we're just really trying to just get into him now. There we go. Oh. So yeah, every time you get hit by the lightning as well, you lose the ability to use any of your items, which really does hamper you. Because it means that not only are you probably suffering some pretty severe damage from the lightning that's just hit you, you also can't use any items to heal yourself. So yeah, that's not good. But there we go, that's him down. So yeah, the Nayzaga, you want to watch out for the spines and watch out for, especially at higher levels as well, there's kind of a group of 4 spines that comes down, and if you destroy that, then you will stun the Nayzaga temporarily, so that's definitely something that you want to go for quite early on if you see it. So let's move on to the final shock type behemoth. So last up is the Stormclaw. As you can see, I've switched into the Stormclaw based armour, which has given me some benefit. Some of it is a little bit weaker than the other parts, but I'm working on that. I don't often use this armour setup. So again, this one's going to be sending orbs at us as well, but it also has an electric fence that it puts up, but we'll have a look at that shortly. So let's jump right into this one, since everybody else is waiting for me. So there we go. Oh, there he is, a little sneak peek. So it's kind of similar to the Ember main, only electric. So it has a lot of kind of charging attacks, and it's fast, and definitely not something that you want to take a hammer up against, because I think you'll really struggle to hit it unless you get quite lucky. Just double check that we haven't all just ran past him. Yeah, we have. Look, he's over here. So here we go. Just sneak. No, he's seen me. There we go. There's. I thought I was going to get a sneaky one off there. But yeah, the Stormclaw is a lot bigger than I remember. It's been a while since I've gone up against one, to be honest. But yeah, they're a big old brute. Let's see if I can knock some parts off of this one. There we go, he's setting up his fence. So if you break basically one part of the fence, then it does create quite a substantial gap in all right. There we go, the fence is being set up. Okay, just try and... There we go. So if you hit the lightning balls that he fires, they do fire back at him and stun him for a short period, which gives you an opportunity to kind of get in and get some free hits off, as it were. Okay. There we go. Oh. Okay, just pop that off and then... Okay, just kind of get... Popped another one of the healing things off. So, I'm just going to kind of slash at him a little bit. Get some quick hits off. Is that gonna... Yep, that's gonna hit. Okay. Alright. So yeah, like I was saying, that this one is a little bit quicker than maybe the others. But I think it's nowhere near as quick as I was remembering, so you might be alright with the hammer. I mean, there is one member of my team that is using the hammer at the moment anyway, so he doesn't seem to be having that much of a hard time about it. Let's just grab that. There we go, he's disappeared. So... Right, let's go see if we can figure out where he's disappeared off to then. So yeah, if you just keep switching up your armour and things, and just be conscious about which weapons you're using against which behemoths, then you do start to make your way up the mastery level. Which is what I'm doing at the moment, just slowly going through the masteries. Alright, how about that? Go on, have some of that. Come on. Come on now. There we go. Ow. Come on then. Oh, that's got to be painful. There we go, that's the last shock type behemoth done. So that is the Stormclaw. So yeah, just be conscious of the armour that you are using, and you'll always be able to kind of fill in the gaps, as it were, and create your armour that you need out of the parts that you harvest. I have found that parts wise you do get a lot more parts with using the chain blades and things like that, so they're an ideal place to start while you're trying to kind of develop everything else, especially since the hammers, they don't actually work on breaking certain parts of certain behemoths and things like that. The great axe, if you are good with it, that is a good place to go if you want to get more parts as well. But that is all for this week. Maybe we'll go into different weapon types. Actually, no, we'll quickly cover different weapon types now, mainly because it's not even me that needs to say it. Basically, you have Kat here, or Catherine Sorrel, and she actually goes through what is kind of what each weapon does and what it's good for. So the sword, versatile, good for anybody really. Then you've got the chain blades, which are fast, and I've found, at least, it doesn't state it there, that they're good at breaking behemoth parts. Then you have the hammer, which is another one of my favourites. So it's a bit slow, but it always kind of staggers and interrupts your enemies, and it's excellent against the Skarn, who have really thick armour, and it's good for breaking that down as well. Then you've got the axe, which, as it says, is great for breaking behemoth parts, even though it is a little bit on the slow side. The war pike, really not a big fan of the war pike, if I'm honest, but it makes it wounds behemoths and can mean that you can do massive damage and the rest of your party to the behemoths as well, but I'm just not a fan of it. Then you have the Ostian repeaters, which are your pistols essentially, and are another one of my favourites. They are excellent at kind of avoiding combat and kind of just maintaining a safe distance while you just knock it down a little bit piece by piece and just keep dodging out of the way. There's also some excellent things that you can do with it, and so many different parts you can put on that mean it's quite likely that even if you have two people using them, you're not going to have two people using exactly the same kind of weapons, because they could use different buffing skills and things like that. But that now is all for this week, so thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.